Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing an article I came across. I'm going to read a little bit of this and tell you what I think. Judge declares state worker drug testing order unconstitutional. Governor Scott's order ruled unconstitutional Thursday, April 26, 2012. A federal judge declared Governor Rick Scott's order requiring drug testing for some 85,000 state workers unconstitutional Thursday, saying the governor showed no evidence of a drug problem at the agencies to warrant suspicionless testing. The ruling marks the second blow to Scott's proposal regarding drug testing. The governor also suspended a state law he supported that requires drug testing for welfare recipients last year after a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union. A federal judge in Orlando has temporarily blocked that law. The ACLU and the Government Workers Union also filed a lawsuit last year challenging Scott's order to drug test state employees, saying the testing violates the Fourth Amendment by suspecting state workers of an unreasonable search without adequate suspicion that they use drugs. Imagine that. So why are we taking drug tests on the, on the main street? The people. Scott, who suspended drug testing for state employees in June, said it will appeal Thursday's ruling. As I have already repeatedly explained, I believe that drug testing state employees is a common-sense means of ensuring a safe, efficient, and productive workforce. Scott said in a statement, "That is why so many private employees drug test and why the public and Florida's taxpayers overwhelmingly support the policy." Attorneys for the governor's office have argued that there is adequate statistical evidence in years of national studies about workplace drug use and its dangers justify the order. They also reasoned that employees aren't being forced to take state jobs and that they can find employment elsewhere if they don't want to be drug tested. Scott's attorney also cited state laws requiring some state employees, under certain circumstances, make financial disclosures or provide open access to public records, arguing all state employees have diminished privacy interests regarding drug testing. But the governor's reasoning is hardly transparent and frankly obscure. U.S. District Judge Yersha Youngero wrote, "He offers no plausible rational explanation why the fact that a state employee work product and financial status are publicly accessible leads to the conclusion that the employee's expectation of privacy in his or her bodily functions and fluids is then diminished." Imagine that. They get to have the Constitution, but we don't. The ACLU, because in the Constitution, the Fourth Amendment means your protection of all your property in your person. That means your bodily fluids. That's what it really means if you go down to it. Your person, your skin, your hair, or whatever. And the ACLU Workers Union said that in 2010, only 46 of 85,000 workers in questions were subjected to drug testing because of suspicion that they were using drugs. About 0.05%. Most were in the corrections and juvenile justice departments, and most were found to be drug-free. In 2009, only 4 or more than 4,700 workers tested were found positive for drugs. There never was any evidence that state employees use drugs more than any other group, so this was the case of using hard-working state employees to score political points, said Alma Gonzalez, an attorney for the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Associated Press story. Well, this is what I said. This is what my response was, that they did not post, amazingly. "I see the feds are above the law again. Average people have to be drug tested to get a job and have random test them, yet the government doesn't. I believe the Congress and the Senate should be tested now to see why they are doing the crazy things they are to the American people, especially the present President Obama and cabinet. They have never been required to be drug tested before entering their office or after. Drug testing should stop for everyone until the government is tested. Revoke the drug test now, and it should be. We should never have to take another drug test until the government says they will do it. Because they cannot be above the law. You can't have two different. That's an imbalance. That's the goose and the gander type deal. What's good for the goose isn't for the gander. And this is not gonna fly, people. If this is pressed enough by the people, drug testing would be revoked immediately until something can be done. I mean, look, the president holds the football, and he's been doing some crazy things, the NDAA, all these executive orders. Apparently this guy's on some type of drug. I don't know what it is, but it's making him crazy enough to be wanting to be a dictator, and he should be tested immediately, along with everyone in his staff and his cabinet, like Pelosi and the rest of them. That's just wrong. It's wrong. Well, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to bring this up. I'm going, this is craziness. This is just nuts. I'll have a link to this in the description. But it's just nuts that they've never been tested. I mean, I sure went to work for the government, I guess. If I wanted to do drugs, I can go there and do all the drugs I want and have a fun time and party and everything. You can't do that as a civilian. No, you're the slave. Slaves aren't allowed to enjoy themselves. They're supposed to be miserable. So these people are high in power and mighty, feel like gods then, because you're miserable and they're above you going, miserable scum, we should get rid of all of you. And that's how they're thinking too. That's why I think they need a drug test. I think they're doing some very powerful drugs that we need to find out. Crack cocaine, something, I don't know what it is. Methamphetamines, I don't know, but making them crazy enough to pass crazy laws. Well, that's all I had to say. I'm going to get off here and post this. Until next time, it's a Spellbinder saying, be good at it. And let's start to protest the drug test until the federal and state governments comply. Good day.